Did you buy another model? I can't believe you. You have way too many of those things. You need to sell some of them. You're wasting all your time and money on models. Paint what you have.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 16 of Model Club TV.
I can't do 16 here. Roman numerals.
Wait,
like the Super Bowl.
Is that? I don't even know if that says 16, so we're good. Wait, X is 10, V is 10? What's X?
X is 10, V is 5, and I is 1.
All right, that works then.
Don't you watch the Super Bowl?
No. Did you watch the Super Bowl?
Of course I watched the Super Bowl.
Are we allowed to say Super Bowl, or do we have to say big game? Will we get in trouble?
No, I don't know what that was about. So
I think they sue people who say Super Bowl. I don't know.
Well,
we might be in big trouble now.
Then, because, yeah.
Did you watch the big game? I know you have a big man crush on the
I do have
Tom
a big
Brady.
man Tom Brady crush, and I did watch, and was surprised the outcome was as lopsided as it was.
What was the score? I didn't even watch.
31-9.
And your guy won?
Yes, he did.
This is the first Super Bowl I haven't
watched. That would be
watched.
his 7th.
Oh, geez.
Okay, 7th.
I didn't watch 1 second of it. Not one. I think I watched 30 minutes of one entire NFL game this entire season. I'm done. So, I don't know. Different story. Super Bowl, big game. Did you win money?
No, I had no gambling going.
Man.
Gambling has lost its appeal to me.
Why?
I don't know. I don't know. I used to bet on stuff all the time with guys at work and stuff. Just to bet on the game. I used to have a guy who used to bet on Bulls games. And I always made him give me points. This was right before the Bulls got good. So, we were back and forth. And it was $2, but it was like we'd scream back and forth to each other for a couple hours and have something to do for a couple hours while I worked the assembly line. So
I got in on the stock market for the first time in my life.
Oh my God.
Did bought
you get
a
in
stock.
On that GameStop debacle?
Well, some of it. I'm on the AMC side of it, trying to take it down.
Good luck with that.
I'm up nothing. I'm in the hole.
Yes.
I have some other stuff. One of the stocks I bought was pretty good. The other ones, I knew they were going to tank, but that was the point. But it's weird. I'm learning stuff. I'm learning math a little bit.
Oh God. Yeah. That straight line, that straight horizontal line means minus, that you're losing.
No, see, it's easy on the app. It makes it red if you're losing, green if you're doing well.
Of course it does.
Most of my shit's red. So, anyway, Model Club, not sports, not stocks, models. Well, let's start with movies. Did you see anything? I finished Cobra Kai last night.
Did you?
All the way through season 3.
So now you're done.
So spoilers. Man, it's so cheesy.
It is. I thought 3 was the weakest season.
Yeah.
But it was still fun.
The fight in the house, it's like, okay. Big karate fight.
That's where I was too. It's like,
okay.
Yeah, like they would get away with all that. Yeah.
Just
throw the kids through the window. And then he's going to get up.
That's the first thing I said too.
And he's going to get up and fight. And it's like, come on.
You just threw the dude the little kid through the window. I'm like, okay. So yeah, finish that. And then we can't talk about it because it's a major spoiler on there. But I'm good to see that one person show up because they're on another show that I was just watching. She's on The Boys.
Okay.
And I finished both seasons of that. Holy cow, dude.
That part of it actually went better than I thought it was going to.
It did.
Because it was here he had just with the one and then the other and so you thought again it's like, can we write this guy's luck to be any worse?
Dude, that's what I said. Worst luck in the world.
So
story of my life though too. It's Costanza 3:16. When they like you, you don't like them. When you like them, they don't like you. That's what it is. Always. Otherwise, models. I haven't bought anything. I don't think. I know you have a little bit. So we'll do news and reviews. We'll start with news. There's a lot going on and not a lot going on at the same time. It's kind of that rough spot in the hobby year.
Mm-hmm.
And We got a major blizzard going.
Yeah, I'm looking
It's
outside
been-
right now, and yeah, we're getting dumped on. They said we had 31 inches of snow on the ground
Yeah.
now in some spots. I don't hear. I think we're at about 15 or 16, but we're supposed to get dumped another 8 inches tonight.
Yeah.
And I can already see we're already at 4 or 5 right now.
And to
so.
our Texas friends, good grief. I have some friends out there that they're dealing with a lot of stuff, no power, because the windmills froze. That's, that's the way we want to go. It's so stupid. It's so stupid.
And here we go.
Yeah, that's where we're going.
All right.
The first news piece that I think we should touch on is in last episode, we tried to do something cool and we had to cut it out because we got flagged for copyright infringement. And we are trying to do Scott reacts to trailers videos, and we made 2 of them. I posted one of them, and it was immediately flagged for copyright because I don't know how to work that yet. And I don't know if we can just put it up there and leave it as flagged as copyright. But so some of the last episode might seem a little disjointed if we were talking about the Kong versus Godzilla trailer, because we had a whole big thing filmed. We still have it. I might figure out a way to put it up, but it's been a rough couple weeks in terms of just busy stuff. So if last episode you heard us talking about the Godzilla trailer and didn't know what we were talking about, we had something filmed and it's in progress. We're trying to work that out, but YouTube rules. Ugh. And copyright. Other than that, news in terms of kits and cool things coming out. What do we got?
Well, let's start with Escape Hatch Hobbies presents Maddie the Mad Monster Model. And this was digitally sculpted by our friend Rob Madison.
Yeah.
And Todd Powell at Escape Hatch Hobbies is producing it. And the paint up here is our friend Phil Kupka.
So many cool things coming together at once and cool people to do something pretty cool.
They just released today a monster model review. I forgot the number, but it's where Rob talks about the making of this and what it's based on and all of that. It's really cool.
Yeah, we'll put a link up to the video here and in the description. But yeah, he did. When I watched the progress of him kind of creating this thing, it's like, oh, that's pretty cool. And then to see it finished and actually turn into a model kit, it's exactly what we were talking about a couple weeks ago with the 3D printing and kind of be in the future.
Yeah, it is. And it would be interesting to get Rob's take on that. Maybe we'll get him on.
If he's still talking to me.
Stop it.
Oh, what'd I do? I'm just kidding. I love Rob.
So, yeah, it would be good to get him on and talk about that. That's a good subject.
And it's the details there. They did the jars are clear. The pieces, it's a cool little diorama piece that it's pretty fun.
Yeah. And if you, oh, there goes the snowplow. Hi. If you watch the video and you want to know how Phil got it to look like there's paint in those jars. So they're cast in clear resin, and Phil drilled the bottoms out and filled them with whatever to make it look like there's paint in there.
Cool.
So it's really cool. The whole thing is cool.
Yeah, check out the video. There's a lot there going on. Escape Hatch Hobbies, Todd Powell, Rob Madsen, and Phil Kupka. Some good stuff.
Monster model review.
Yeah. I'm glad to see that's a kit. I'm really glad to see that's a kit that people can get. Next we found was this Godzilla from Ben Inside Studios. I saw a couple of the pages, and I thought it was a really nice 54 Godzilla. What do you think?
I do. I have to look at some more of the pictures from head on because I think this angle is a little funky, but I love the base.
Is it just me, or does it look like the realistic version of the Polar Lights one? Like with that bank building?
Yes, a little bit. Well, that's an iconic, what is it, Tokyo Tower or whatever or something. But
it looks very similar, like the bases. I thought similar, but it's a cool piece.
But yeah, no, it is, and it's
and if you look through their other things, they got some pretty good stuff going on. And the price isn't bad when I looked up what the price was.
I was gonna say, what is the price?
It was like the The price of this is $189, which isn't that bad. I didn't think for a Godzilla kit, because you'll see those things way up there. But I think you can get it painted for $279. So, yeah, I don't know. And then I keep seeing, and this is totally not off topic, but on topic, on YouTube, people putting together some X Plus giant Godzilla. I'll put a picture of that up too. Man, is it bad that I want to buy pre-painted Godzillas instead of painting them?
Oh, no argument here.
I mean, we could turn that into a topic, but those X Plus statues that have been coming out are really, really nice. It kind of cuts out the middleman, and I know this is a model show, but I kind of just want to get those, like the Megalon or a Mothra. I don't want to paint Mothra's wings, but those.
I've seen some of those Mothras are really nice.
Yeah,
actually.
they are. But X Plus, man, all their Godzilla stuff, that pre-paint line that's coming out, I really, really like that stuff. The Kong I got was from them, and it's pretty nice. But anyway.
Monsters from the Woods. My friend John Deary and our friend Jeff Yeager, of course. Okay, who else is going to sculpt a Universal monster but Jeff at this point? And this is it's a different take on Dracula. So why do I say that?
Yeah, well, why do you say that? Because
of the facial expression. Okay, it's kind of that pre-bite like expression. And I've only seen it tried one other time, and that was on one of John Tucky's kits. And this one really kind of nails that. So
it looks good.
It's an interesting expression. The base is nice.
What scale is this?
This is 1/6, I believe.
And the one I can tell you,
it's in rubber already, because I saw the pictures of the molds today. So it's in rubber already. It's a little menacing, I guess.
A menacing Dracula is good. I think that avoids the problem.
I would say it's before, a menacing Dracula. Yes.
Of like the monsters looking like sissies all the time.
Yes.
Yeah. You want to see a mad Dracula. Why not? Or about to hurt you, Dracula.
Yeah. I'm about to fuck you up.
Why you got to swear?
I don't know.
But yeah, no, that's a cool piece. It's in rubber. Did you hear a price yet?
Didn't. No, I didn't. It might be a little more, because that's a lot of that cape's going to be quite a bit of resin.
Yeah.
But if he's giving me a price, I've forgotten it. But by next episode, we should have it. So
okay. The heap. The heap is something we found or saw.
And that is our friend Michael Berglund, who did the calendar and the Aurora things that I did last time. So
we've been featuring him a lot.
Yeah, he's a busy guy.
He's doing a lot of stuff, which is great.
He is a busy guy.
So is this an original thing? It comes from a comic, right? Or
I don't know what it comes from. I think it's an original idea,
it.
But maybe it is.
Okay. But it's a cool little piece. Again, it's original. You haven't seen one of those before. It's good stuff. Check it out. The Berglund. And the Jaeger Army, their first piece, huh?
Jaeger Army's first exclusive piece. And this is Boris Karloff from the Black Cat. Black Cat, Boris Karloff as, what is that, Hjalmar Polzig. Shows you how often I've seen this movie.
I think I've seen it once.
But I actually am interested in seeing it. That being said, and I'm going to rave out a little bit. This sculpt is beautiful.
It's a good fit, yes. It is a very good likeness.
And there's also on the back of the base, there's a little YA Jaeger Army piece. And it's a real simple base. It's nothing extravagant. And the hair detail, this thing is just beautiful.
It is just
beautiful.
Simple.
And I know Paul has started casting them, and I think he's got about 10 so far. I think this is going to be a limited to 100 at this point. I want to say they're at about 70 or 80. I looked today and I of course spazzed and didn't think about it. But I know I'm number like 47. So
Okay.
I'm pretty far down on the list. But yeah, it's a nice piece. It's a beautiful sculpt. I don't know. It's different. You know, it's not something we've seen a lot of before. So yeah. And I think it's something that lends itself well to being a bust.
Yeah. It does. And for an exclusive piece to the Jaeger Army, it's a nice place to start. I think.
And I'm gonna try to watch the movie.
I think I have it on my DVR right now. On Svengoolie. But you hate Svengoolie, so
I did watch a movie, by the way. That's right. Shoot, I should have said something. It put me to sleep though, so I didn't watch the whole thing.
what movie?
The Spider-Verse thing. I got a little farther into it before I fell asleep this thing.
No, we're not stopping there. You did not like Spider-Verse? It's the best Spider-Man movie.
No, it's not. It's not even Spider-Man. Peter Parker's Spider-Man, not Miles Morales.
Peter Parker's in there. What are you talking
Peter Parker
about?
from another dimension. Not all that bullshit they put in there. That's not the Green Goblin. No. This is right up there with the 76 thing they call King Kong. Stop it.
No. That is the best Spider-Man movie. There isn't a better Spider-Man movie. And you're wrong. I will say that simple. That it has what? You fell asleep?
I wasn't trying to.
What are you chewing ice for?
You frustrate me.
No, I'm not even like. Oh,
I fell asleep. And trust me, if I'd have wanted to fall asleep, I'd have put a Lord of the Rings movie in. Instead, okay. Yeah. No,
I
the
love
animation's
Spider-Verse.
crazy,
Like
stupid.
you're crazy.
All right.
Anyway,
Our next piece.
our next
Folks at Typhon Studios, Mike Calvert, is releasing another set of. Hey, do we call these busts? What do we call them?
I don't know.
We're gonna have to talk to Mike. What do we call them? Are these busts? Are
halves?
they just
you call them halves?
Halves. But it's a 3-figure set of Colin Clive and Dwight Fry, and of course Karloff as the monster. And I'm not sure. I know they're all separate bases, I believe. So, but I'm not positive on that if they're going to be offered separate or if you're going to buy them all. But it's an interesting piece for me in that the Karloff head, that is what they call the test makeup.
Okay.
And there's only publicity stills of it. It was never in the movie like that.
Okay.
There are some publicity stills, so they kind of went with that as something different. But there's a lot of little details in the base and the pieces there. The Dwight Fry looks really good. So does the Colin Clive.
Yeah, I like the likenesses a lot.
And if you look at it, the scale's probably 1/8. I mean,
is it?
If you look at one picture, well, I mean, look at the size of the heads in Jeff's hands.
Yeah, it looks about 1/8.
And so it is really, and maybe we're looking at it thinking it's 1/6 scale or something like that.
Yeah.
In which case that would be a huge piece. But I think it's a lot smaller than we think. And but it's a nice piece. It's coming out. Typhon's got a website, and Mike Calvert is easy to get a hold of as well. And this will, I'm sure, come with all kinds of goodies. And I forgot to mention that in the Black Cat piece, in that it's going to come with all kinds of goodies like most of Mike Calvert's pieces do. I think like a little repro of the poster or something in there. So it's you're getting more than just a bust in a box.
Yeah.
Okay.
The details on this look really, really good. Like those bottles and the Strickfaden machines. And
it's a big brain on Strickfaden.
I know. Look at that. I learned something before. The Fritz though is really cool. I like the look on his face.
Yeah. So I'm kind of, well, I mean, hoping we're going to have Wonderfest. And if we do, I'm kind of looking forward to seeing some of Mike's pieces in person.
Yeah.
And because all I've seen is photographs. And so, again, I get an idea of size, but when I first looked at this, I'm like, oh, this is a big piece, and then when I sit here and logically think about it, well, no, it's not really that big. I mean, it's still going to be good size with 3 figures.
Oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah.
But,
it'll be a nice chunk of resin.
But it's smaller, so it'll be interesting to see. And the thing about something like this too is, you can kind of move the figures around too to pose them.
Yeah.
To give them what you want. If you don't like the way they're sitting there like that. But again, it's cool. I wonder what's behind the choice in the test makeup for the Frankenstein head, or the monster head. But not too many kits been done of that, so that's kind of interesting. And I recently found out, someone posted a picture somewhere, that in 1947, Boris Karloff was in the movie The Secret Life of Walter Mitty. And Jack Pierce made him up as the monster. And, he looked like the monster from the movies that he was in. A little bit different because he was a little heavier and a little older in 1947. I said, now that might be a cool bust for someone to do. Because it's just, you don't need another Frankenstein kit per se, but kind of a cool bust. So feel free, steal the idea. It's okay. I'm not going to do it. So. All right. Our next 2 pieces are from George Stevenson and Blackheart. And this piece, I think, is a really interesting idea. And these are 3, what you would say, very influential African-American athletes that were very groundbreaking for their time. And you have Joe Louis there, you have Jesse Owens, and you have, of course, Jackie Robinson. And these were also sculpted by Jeff. And I think this comes as a 1 piece. I don't think you get these separate. I think this comes as 1 piece.
Do you know what scale right away? Like what scale?
I don't. He might have posted it, but I don't.
Okay.
I think these are a little bigger. They're not, but I could be wrong, but I just thought it was a really interesting idea.
Yeah, I like this idea a lot. And it's more sports stuff, I think, is a good idea. Regardless of who they are. I think just in general, it's and I know this hobby has strictly been movies and all that sort of thing, but being a guy that the only client I have right now is painting baseball busts for this guy, from their old set of Hall of Fame busts that are vinyl, and he has me paint them. And I think there's something out there. There's a big crossover of sports fans and garage kit guys. I think there's an untapped area there. And to start out with these 3 is a great idea. Like, it is, like, hats off to George for trying something new. And I think, has there been sports kits before ever? Can you think of any?
Actually, Aurora had sports kits.
Yeah.
Believe it or not. They had Johnny Unitas, and they had Dempsey versus Firpo, which was a boxing match. They had Babe Ruth, they had Willie Mays, they had Jerry West, I think.
But nothing in terms of garage kits, though. Like, nobody was putting out. There might have been. I'm not going to say there never was. Yeah.
And, maybe it's a license issue. I don't know. The thing about this is a good crossover, too.
Yeah.
Into the miniature world as well. Because, like that show we went to, that Hobby Expo, this is something you could have saw sitting there next to a historical general or.
I was just going to say, there's a historical significance to those 3 guys, and it's perfect for that sort of thing. So well done, George. I want to should I put out a secret into the world? Someone steal my idea. I want to start a sideshow. I think we talked about this before. I want to start sideshow, but for sports figures.
Well, and again, I always say classic movie stars as well, not horror.
But just think about it. How many dudes would buy like a Michael Jordan statue? Like, that's well done. Like, of just sports guys. Because I think they got money to burn, those memorabilia dudes. And they'll buy a $900 Michael Jordan, like premium format, jumping, dunking a ball, right?
You know, I would be okay with stuff like bands as well. You know,
Yeah.
well,
there's a company. I did
that
see
overrated band you talk about, the Beatles. Yeah, that would be good.
I did see a company doing sport. There is one doing pre-painted guitar players. I found.
So, but yeah, I mean, there's, you know, I know the one guy, John Apgar, did some rock and roll kits as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just something other than monsters, you know, and that's why I say you get away with Hollywood stars, just basic, you know, James Cagney, Humphrey Bogart, Cary Grant, just, you know, stuff that's not,
yeah,
you know, I don't know. You know, sports might get tricky because you got logos and, you know, but maybe all of it's.
And not to sound, I'm not trying to make this into a race thing, which I would see your face. I think it's good to have African American subject matter. You get to paint something other than white skin.
Believe it or not, I was just going to say that. I was going to say, how many of us have painted
Caucasian everything? Like,
yeah.
And it's hard. It's a lot harder because you have to approaching that in a different way using I think that's cool. Like a challenge for that kind of thing. Cause you do the same thing. There's certain guys, you know, they have the same bottle of flesh they use on every kit, and to have to, you know, change that up 3 different ways there. And you can only grow in your hobby, your skills, by trying new stuff. So yeah, on that side of it, I think it's a great idea too.
So anyway, good piece, George.
Yeah.
Looking forward to seeing it. Looking forward to seeing it painted. Mandalorian, yeah, and I believe the gentleman's name at the bottom of that is Al Davis. So Al, if you painted that, kudos to your paint job there. I grabbed the photo off the internet, so I apologize. But this is also a piece of George's, a limited edition piece. I'm not sure the size of this either, but you can check out George's website, and I think it's there. And Mandalorian, of course, I've not seen.
Mandalorian, though, you have not seen Mandalorian.
I have not seen Mandalorian.
It's really good. It's pretty good. It made me actually like Star Wars again. It's
there you go.
It's good. There was a lot of Mandalorian news this week. Go back and check that out. You might want to do that. I probably won't be seeing Mandalorian anymore. Kong is king. What's this about?
So Atlantis, our friends at Atlantis, in the continuing tradition of re-releasing some of the old Aurora stuff, they are re-releasing the King Kong in the glow-in-the-dark box. And if you'll notice on here, it says restored to the original detail, includes bonus glow-in-the-dark parts. So what does that mean? Restored to the original detail.
Yeah, what does that mean?
Well, in the original issue Kong, it had all these trees. And I believe from the glow issues on, I'm not 100%, maybe the glow issues did not, but any reissue after that for sure, there was a small sprue of missing trees and leaves. And Atlantis has found those molds or has those molds or whatever, and they will be including them with this, so the kit will be complete back the way it was when it was originally released. And of course, with that iconic glow box, which I really like those boxes. They're a lot of fun. And they were nice enough. They posted a picture of this is the glow sprue of King Kong parts, this first photo. And anyone that's never seen an injection mold before, there you go. That's those are the Kong, those are all the glow pieces. And I also included a photo of the Godzilla. And that's not the Godzilla glow pieces there, that's the whole kit. And so that's what the original molds all looked like.
Did you just find these, or you have these pictures?
Back in the day. Atlantis has posted them, so okay. I thought it was kind of cool. And so I just like the nostalgia of seeing these molds. I just think it's really cool. So and when you think about it, some of these are 55 years old, 50 years old, you know, so it's pretty interesting. So that's all for what's coming out.
Yeah, there's a lot, and there's more we've seen. It's just been, it's been a slog of 2 weeks.
Yes,
since the last one. And then we didn't even realize, February is shorter than most months. So we have to figure out how we're going to work this with our next episode. Other news, we did plan on having a guest that kind of fell through again. So we are working on something next week. We'll get that together. And next episode, we will definitely have someone on here with us.
Literally the night we filmed our last episode,
yeah,
I had a box sitting out from my friend Kurt Krause. And I didn't know what it was because it was like, he really didn't owe me anything. So there was nothing expected coming. He did tell me there was something coming, but I was like, okay, whatever. And so I start taking this out. I'm like, what the heck is this? And he had heard our episode of me talking about wanting to do this to this particular kid.
Wait, Kurt actually watches the show?
Wow. Yeah, yeah. And so he took the time to
that's awesome.
Get a Blackhawks logo like I intended, and he hand painted all the lines and seamed all the pieces, and it does still work. And he did the flex stone on the base to make it look like a real bird bath, which was kind of my intention on what I was thinking about doing. So this is really all exactly what I was intending on.
So
doing.
Someone saved you all the work that you were doing.
Someone built and painted something for me. Isn't that awesome? So it's on display upstairs. The bad thing is this is a hard piece to display.
Yeah.
And I always say there's pieces that are hard to display because of their flatness. And this is probably one of them. I always say that Wrights and Frankenstein by Sideshow. It's so beautiful. But unless you've got it at an eye level that someone can look down on it almost and see all the detail,
you
miss a lot. And this is another one so I've got it in my model room upstairs on display. And it's really cool.
Good job, Kurt. Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't get anything. What the heck?
Yay. And then this week I got in the mail. You're going to laugh.
Uh-oh.
I wish we could play music because you could fire up some music. Okay. Wait, can we see him?
Oh, wait. I like that.
Okay. So
Ranger and Tonto.
Yes. These are original Aurora comic scenes from the 70s, 75, I think. Still sealed. I mean, they're in great shape, which kind of pisses me off, but I'll get to that in a minute.
Where'd you get those?
So I bought these from a fellow collector, Joe Bello. He's a watcher of the show.
Okay. Hey, Joe.
He's trouble, but he's a watcher of the show. No, he's not. I felt bad for him, too, because I paid him for him right away, and he's like, it's going to take me a couple days to get to the post office because he got buried in the snow, and he sent me a picture of his car, and I'm like, dude, take your time. It's not like I'm going to build them. And
that's right. We know that.
So when they came, I said, finally get your car undone? He says, no, I filled up a cart, and I walked to mail everything. So, but first of all, I didn't know they were sealed. Okay, which is fine, But I really want to open them up and check them out.
Do it right now. Do it.
No, I'm not doing it.
Do it, you baby. Do it.
So these are two Aurora kits that since this have never been reissued.
Come on, Scott, open it.
No, I'm not opening them.
Open it.
And these are fun. These are fun kits. If you've ever seen them built up. And what was weird about these, one of the things I hated about the comic scenes was they took the nameplates out and the emblems off, the chest and stuff. These two kits never had nameplates. So you can build these and they're going to be identical to what they originally were.
Okay.
And I've heard this horse is a severe pain in the ass with the seam lines and stuff.
Open it.
So no, I'm not opening it. So plus, this is my favorite part. You ready? This kit molded in Ranger blue and white plastic. The Lone Ranger figure, his Great Horse silver and terrain base. Model can be painted as shown in illustration. It's in Ranger blue. Okay, hold on. This gets better.
Oh, no.
This kit is molded in buckskin brown plastic.
Oh, I thought it was going to be red.
A 7-inch Tonto figure, eagle terrain base with tree, cactus, and rattlesnake. Model can be painted as shown in the illustration.
That could have went a totally different direction. So I'm glad they did it in brown.
Well, see, so you're better. So I've seen that the Tonto is pretty common.
Yeah.
Not really as hard to get. The Lone Ranger is getting a little harder. And I had these when I sold all my Aurora kits back in the day. And they never got reissued, so I never rebought them.
Do you think they'll reissue them?
Oh, now that I bought them, I'm sure they will. But and what's funny is this horse on the Lone Ranger kit was used in 3 different kits, I believe. So there's or 4 different kits. There was an Aurora Black Stallion. I think there was a White Stallion, and then there was the Lone Ranger, and I think the same horse was used in their Zorro kit.
Probably. Why wouldn't you at that point?
Why not? Yeah, we'll just make a figure to go on it.
Yeah.
And one of the things I remember about the Lone Ranger kit that I liked was the mask was a separate piece. And I've said this about the Phantom of the Opera kit too. The mask actually fits over the face. You glue it to the face. Okay. And I've always said, like the Phantom kit, that mask will fit over that face on the Aurora Phantom of the Opera. So
isn't there magnetic paint?
I don't know.
Like, what if you put a magnet inside his head and then painted the back of that with some magnetic paint?
I don't know.
So you can stick it on and off.
But no, it's the Lone Ranger. Nobody sees the Lone Ranger.
Somebody does.
Well, and anybody, and I want you to look this up, post a link. What's the guy's name that used to be on Letterman every year on New Year's Eve?
Tom Waits?
No.
Crispin Glover?
No.
Chris Elliott?
Edit. We're going to edit this. So hold on.
Chris Elliott? I'm thinking of all the people I liked on Letterman.
Okay. Jay Thomas. So Jay Thomas has a Lone Ranger story that he used to tell on Letterman every year. And it's really kind of a funny story. It's like one of those Wonderfest stories. Okay. And I'll send you a link when we're done. And if you want to link it here,
I'll put it in. I'll put it down below.
It's a riot. So, but there's a little bit about the Lone Ranger mask in there, and it's just kind of funny. But yeah, Clayton Moore, you never get to see the Lone Ranger without his mask, so I wouldn't want it to come off. So. And he's molded in Ranger Blue.
Ranger Blue.
And this week, I should be getting my Snoopy and his Sopwith Camel, and the Red Baron kits are coming from Steve Iverson. So I'll have those to show next time. And we'll probably open one of the Snoopies.
Open the Lone Ranger.
I'm not opening the Lone Ranger.
What do I got coming? I bought some more miniatures. I bought some more stuff that way. No model kits though. I'm waiting for that Daejerthaurus from Model Giants. I saw that they had a new update on that. That's what I think most excited about. And then there was something else I saw, but I don't remember it right now. The Witch coming. That's the one I'm excited about.
Witch is coming. Yeah, I know that's
coming soon.
Progressing.
So yeah, Mark I got updated about that. Yep.
And I actually just sent him payment for a head and nameplate for the Aurora kit. He had posted that he had cast some up. So I said, yeah, go ahead and send me one.
Cool.
So that's coming. And then I also I forgot to mention this too. So this is a little nameplate.
Where'd you get that?
So we've mentioned David Stan Arts, Tauntaun and the Dewback, and a real nice Karloff as the monster bust. And I saw some pictures and I saw they had a nameplate. Mine didn't come with a nameplate. So I think it's his wife, Laura, that actually answers all the emails and has said some nice things about us. Got a hold of her and said, hey, can I get one of those nameplates? I'll gladly pay for it. And she was kind enough to send this to me for free. And I had to measure it because I guess there were 2 issues of this bust. So the base is a little thicker so there's 2 different nameplates. So she sent me this nameplate for that bust.
Sweet.
And we'll put pictures up of the bust too, because it's really a nice bust. So and it's a 1-to-1 scale or pretty close to 1-to-1 scale bust. And I put the pictures in our folder. So you've got those to
excellent.
So
anything else you get? Did you build anything? Let's move on to the workbench. Have you actually built anything? Okay, great. So here's I have the inability to say no sometimes. And friends will always be like, hey, can you do this for me? And I'm like, nah. And then I always say yes. And this one person in particular always tends to screw me over with projects. He never lets on how hard they're going to be or where they're at. So anyway, he originally told me he had picked this up, and I told him no. I, for once in my life, said no. I had too much going on. And then he emails me recently and said, hey, my person fell through. They half started it and needed to stop. Can you finish it? And I was like, fine, send it along. So, yeah. I'm painting an airplane, which... it's not funny.
It's a little funny. It's funny from where I'm sitting.
I know. So this thing came half like glued together wrong. So it's going to look, I'm trying to save it. There's a piece missing. The seams are terrible and I had to re-glue them and I'm trying to fix them. And I told my friend, I'm like, I can't make this look fantastic because the other person, I think they painted the wheels with a black Sharpie. It looked like someone took a black marker and colored in the wheels and other black trim because all I did was spritz alcohol and the stuff just poured right off. So it's a cool kit. It comes with 2 eddies. If you're an Iron Maiden fan, like it has an eddy pilot and it has an eddy. Well, they're both the pilot, but one's in the plane and one's outside standing there. The pieces are really nice. It's a cool, like if I had this from the get-go, from the start, it would have been a lot better and easier. I was surprised at some of the detail in some of the parts are really thin, like the flaps and things, not ever having painted a level 4 airplane before. But that's what I'm working on. And I'm not excited about it. I don't know how to paint camouflage. I'm going to have to watch some YouTube videos. But yeah, I'm building an airplane.
So I'm scrolling eBay while we're talking just to see if there's any of them out there. What is it called again?
It is Iron Maiden Aces High Spitfire Mark II. It's a cool kit. Like if you're an Iron Maiden fan, it's the song Aces High, and then the poster, the album cover had the airplane. I had that poster, I think, when I was like junior high or something. But man, yeah, airplanes.
Well, I was gonna suggest, man, throw it out and just buy another one and make it form. No. But yeah, you'll be about somewhere between $50 and $60 in.
Yeah, forget that. Nope. But, so he's getting what his friend did, and I'm trying to salvage it. That's where we're at. And then just building miniatures. I finished, like I showed last episode, I finished my AFM. That gave me a chance to build. I probably built 100 miniatures. I'm just powering through. I magnetized a lot of them too, so I could move parts around, which is fun. But that's my workbench. Nothing really to show other than that. All right, our topic for today.
What a great topic.
Yeah, this is a great topic. Scott got some news. Scott, you want to share some news with us?
All right. So those have been following my health exploits for the last few years. Hoping I would go.
Damn it.
Anyhow, 2 years ago, I had a kidney. My right kidney was removed due to a tumor that was in there, a cancerous tumor. And for the last 2 years, we've been monitoring the other kidney, which also had a tumor in it, but a very small tumor. And we were kind of on the, if it's not broke, don't fix it path. And so the first 6-month scan, it hadn't grown. Second 6-month scan, it hadn't grown. Doctor said, let's go a year. Well, in the last year, it has grown. It hasn't grown crazy, but it's grown enough. They said, yeah, we need to go out and get it. So the plan is to operate on the kidney, not to take the kidney, obviously, because that leaves you with 0 and you kind of need 1.
Even you.
So and just to give you an idea, the kidney is 2.5 millimeters. which is very small, less than a quarter inch. It's not a huge
tumor on the kidney. You said
well, it's in the kidney.
In the kidney.
Okay.
Yeah,
There's also a cyst that's on the kidney that he's going to get. If you really want to be morbid, I could show a picture, but we don't have to. So on March 26th, I will go in for an operation. And it's about an 8-week recovery time. He told me it would be about the same operation. So there's going to be some pain for the first week, especially.
How bad did it suck the first time?
Pretty bad. Pretty bad. The first time I didn't know what to expect. So I really didn't expect the amount of pain that I would be in, that I was in. And I was supposed to come home the next day, and I didn't come home till 2 days afterwards. And even then I was like, I don't know how I'm going to get around. Yeah. Okay. Because, so the first night when they operate on you, you have a catheter. Okay. Which when I first woke up was kind of uncomfortable. Then I fell back asleep. When I woke up again, it didn't bother me at all. And I was just happy I didn't have to move. So
and then
whatever.
You kind of liked it? Like it was
it was kind of nice because I didn't have to get out of bed.
Kind of like the funny feeling?
The next morning, the doctor came in and he played the magic trick and said, yeah, we're going to take this out. And, after he yanked about 3 feet out of there, he says, okay. He says, well, your bladder should be empty. You shouldn't have to go to the bathroom for about 2 hours. And at that point, they're pumping you full of fluids and stuff. So every 2 hours, you have to get up to go to the bathroom. And I could have used a urinal, but I was kind of skeptical about laying down and trying to use a urinal. So by the time I sat up, I could stand.
Yeah.
And I could walk. Okay. It was the sitting up that was hard. So I was using the bed. I had a friend there that was helping me. And then when he had to go home that night, I said, I'm going to have to do this on my own. And I used the bed, and it was kind of like the electric bed, up a little bit, scooch my legs a little bit, up a little bit, scooch my legs a little bit.
Yeah.
But I was able to stand. And once I could stand, I could walk. So then I could walk to the bathroom and pee. And the bad thing is I had to do it about 7 times because they keep pumping you full of this stuff. So just about the time you fall asleep, you got to go to the bathroom. So you got to back up, So I was worried about coming home because I didn't have a hospital bed, obviously, to help me get up. Turns out I had a walker here, and I was able to prop myself off the walker. And, again, I'd use the walker to stand, but then once I stood, I could walk. I wasn't dependent on the walker to walk, but you just needed support. And I don't know if anyone can tell, I'm a bigger guy,
No, we can't tell.
And my wife is not a bigger girl, so she, she wasn't going to help me if I hit the floor. Trust me. But so
were those
anyway,
engine lifts?
Yeah, the chain fall. Call them, yeah. So anyway, I made it home, and the first couple days were tough, but as time went on, it got better within the first week. I think I only took the oxycodone twice after I got home, and that was more to help me sleep than anything. Yeah. And it's like I didn't want anything to do with those anyway, so
those are devils. Yep.
It's pretty much just Tylenol after that, and over a period of time, it got better. I probably overdid it a little because after about 3-4 weeks, I started to have pain again, and the doctor was fairly convinced it was scar tissue. But it sucks because you can't lay on that side for at least 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So, and I'm a person that lays on the side, so you're used to shifting all night. Well, there's no shifting, and they give me this big foam wedge that I put behind my back so that I could shift a little bit and kind of lean on that, and take the weight off the pressure point, off one place. But yeah, there wasn't a lot of options as far as sleeping. But I did okay, and I recovered. And the first couple days are the hardest. First 3-4 days are the hardest.
Are they expecting this one to be as crazy since they're not taking the whole kidney, or?
Well, no, it's smaller for one. And it hasn't, the other one took up almost the whole kidney. So they had to take the kidney. There was nothing they could salvage.
Okay.
So the idea is to get this while they can still salvage the kidney, and we'll hope it doesn't come back, but one thing at a time.
Yeah.
And that's where we're at. So
Well, I'm sure everyone in Model Club TV land is pulling for you. And this is not the news we wanted to hear. It's not the news you wanted to hear, but like you told me, was not unexpected at some point.
No, initially they had said we were going to do this in 6 months. After I healed from the last one, we were going to go in 6 months later and get it. So I got 2 years. And the one doctor's nurse said it best to me, and that is, once you've had a cancer diagnosis, you are looking over your shoulder the rest of your life. And that'll continue to be the case.
Yeah.
That being said, when they cut this out of me, I can now progress towards, maybe I can make that 5-year point. As long as that was there, I could never say I was cancer free.
Right.
Because there was a good chance that was there and that was going to do something. So it's all we can do. It's, it's a new normal. It weighs on your head. Anybody that ever goes through it or has gone through it knows what I'm talking about. Anybody that hasn't, feel free to email me if you do go through it, and I'll try to talk you through it, because it's
I don't want to be a downer, but this stupid hobby we do, there's so many chemicals, and so many of us, do not take precautions we should. So I'm sure a lot of us will be in this boat at some point, which, sucks. And I'm sorry you're going through it, but we're here for you, and you'll get through it. You'll do fine.
Well, I'm more upbeat about it, in that I know what to expect operation-wise.
Yeah.
There's a plan. When I went through this 2 years ago, I went about, as you know, I went about a 2-week period where I didn't know what the plan was, what we were going to do, how bad it was.
Yeah.
What the long-term prognosis was, any of that. So that being said, this is better. It's not great. Obviously, no one wants to have any cancer in their body, but I'm not in that I don't know what I'm going to do phase.
Right.
And I know I'm, unless my fat ass heart attack's out on the table, I know I'm.
Which reminds me, before you go to the surgery, put that 54 Kyoto Godzilla up on a shelf near the door.
It's a 64.
64. Oh, that's right. All right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So there we go. So I've
So that's the last couple of weeks we've been we knew this test was coming. We knew you were going to have results back, and it kind of puts a damper on this.
And we'll film a few episodes before I go. We've got like a month and a half before the surgery. So
yeah,
we'll we'll definitely do a few more episodes, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, we might have to take a break in there, or maybe I'll just put something up like a quick, an update episode or something. But if we disappear for a couple weeks, that's what it'll be.
I could probably come on for a little bit. Yeah. It's that first, honestly, and even the last time I was on the computer the night I got home, or maybe the next day, yeah, and posting, I just
I just want you to be healthy.
It's hard for those that watch. I appreciate all the phone calls and stuff like that, but man, right after the operation, you get so many phone calls, and you get to a point where you're like, stop calling, folks. Email me or message me or something. Not that you don't appreciate it, but you want to rest.
Just
that
sleep.
First, there's a lot of rest that first week, and then there's a lot of I can't do much, for 6 weeks after. So I'm hoping that after the first couple weeks, I can get upstairs and get to my hobby bench. And I've kind of said to myself, I'm going to get something ready prior to that, so I'm ready to go. And just putz around up there and build something, maybe finish that Godzilla, and maybe start something else silly. I don't know.
Yeah, let's do that. I kind of want to put that challenge out to everybody.
See how many organs they have to operate out of me to get me to work on a model kit. So,
so within this next month, let's say March, I want our listeners, everybody, build and paint something and send it to us, and start it not as a contest or anything, but more as a in a solidarity with Scott kind of thing. Build a model kit in support. Everybody build one model kit during March, and we'll just kind of post the slideshow of what we get. And yeah, I hope this inspires your bench work activity to continue up there, and because you won't be going to work, like you're not working
No,
from
I may
home
do
or
a
anything,
little
right?
work. I may do a little work from
Okay.
home, but not a lot.
Okay.
And I made that mistake last time. I tried to go back after 13 days, and that probably was a mistake.
Yeah.
So
yeah, let's all
especially
try
when they
and
tell
build
you to
some
take
kits.
6 to 8 weeks off. So and I figured this was a good time to do it. If Wonderfest happens, I'll be healed by then. I've got a niece's wedding coming up. I have a stepson getting
Yeah, I
married.
couldn't have waited. I would not have been able to hold on to that for 6 months.
No, I don't think so either. It's already in my head. I already have some trouble sleeping at night
Yeah.
because you wake up thinking about it. And
Yep.
thank God for the King of Queens and Friends reruns. And,
Dude, start watching Always Sunny in Philadelphia. That's what you should start watching.
That's not a bad show because
I love that show.
what's on late at night that I watch a lot is The New Adventures of Old Christine.
That's pretty good too.
I hate that show. I watch it, but I hate it. She's such an unlikable, dysfunctional character that I just can't stand it. And
I love Always Sunny. I decided to start it over.
Always Sunny I like, though. I remember watching that. That was good. So,
well, that's where we're at. So that was our topic for today. It's Scott's health.
Scott's yeah.
So, I mean, it shouldn't affect us that much, but we'll get through it. And like I said, it's in March. Everybody build a model kit and send it in for April's shows, and we'll try and just do like a slideshow of the stuff we built while Scott was healing.
Yeah,
it'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, life goes on without the fat bastard. Yeah.
Well, I will not go on without you for right now, unless
Yeah, he's already got replacements lined up. Don't.
Actually,
even...
I was thinking about that. I don't think I do.
Yeah.
No one wants to work with me.
Heavy metal Spike, yeah.
Yeah, Spike. Anyway.
Spike's reviews are great. Spike's pictures are great. At the end of his reviews over in the clubhouse. So
yeah, they are. They are really good.
So it's a lot of fun.
So let's move on to emails. We're going to keep this kind of a really short episode because we're going to turn around and do another episode quickly next week. So this one's kind of like our filler and just a heads up as to what's going on.
Yeah, maybe we'll be under 2 hours.
Yeah, I think we will actually. Emails and corrections. We got 2 emails this week, considering last week was all emails. So let's get caught up on this. First one, of course, is from Phil Kupka. Phil, again. That's a lot. He had a great birthday. He finished a project he was working on for Rob Madison, which we just talked about in the beginning of the episode. Outer Limits Jigsaw he got in the mail, and kudos to Alternative Images for re-releasing some of John Kentucky's kits. It's nice to see a kit company that continues to make available as many castings as the market requires, unlike those kit producers that limit the number of castings to a couple dozen. Labels. I got a lot of crap for my artist versus modeler stuff.
Hey, you think you were gonna?
I knew it was coming. But he said same thing. Labels, if you do a knockout job painting a figure kit, you are labeled a modeler and you are not an artist. But a bust isn't a model kit. I tell you, you two need some better subjects to discuss on Model Club TV. That's true. We do actually. And we'll go back to that for a second. I in no way mean to insult anyone by saying you're not an artist. I'm saying that modeler and artist should be on the same level. And just because one's an artist doesn't make it better than modeler. Don't get stuck on that word. Like a lot of people
should have modeler artists or artist.
I mean, yeah, it's an artist. It's an artistic form. It's an art form. Scotty, your stepdaughter's boyfriend, does he like the Beatles?
Yes.
Okay. Jason, an emailer, asked about Geometric Tremors kit. I sent along a photo. Here it is. First Godzilla movie he saw in the theater was Godzilla versus King Kong, or King Kong versus Godzilla. It was at the Ritz Theater in Northeast Minneapolis. Scott, you have too many model kits, and the fact that you feel intimidated by modelers like the likes of David Fisher shouldn't hold you back from enjoying building kits. If you had an Arnold Schwarzenegger kit from Predator, I could just hear it yelling, "Come on, I'm here, do it! Come on, Scotty, build some of those models, do it." I don't know. Do it. My favorite part of modeling is building more than painting, especially if I do some customizing, making a base, or doing a kit bash. My biggest regret about the hobby is not being able to meet Paul Blaisdell. In my mind and in his own way, he ranks right up there with Ray Harryhausen, who I was fortunate enough to meet a few times. So thanks, Phil. And then we have some questions from Logan/Scuzzfink. You ready?
I'm always ready for questions. I love questions and answer.
I think you're going to love his too. When will we see the big Galuna from Scott?
Well, obviously, we're going to be set back again. However, it is one of the projects up on the bench that I'm working on seaming and cleaning up. So maybe sooner, actually. Maybe this operation will lead to that happening sooner. So
not to open any wounds, but how long has that been in the works?
Whatever.
I'm serious. How long?
A couple of years.
Okay.
That's been in the works about 10 years now.
I was going to say it's a couple of years.
I've had
Went from a couple of years to 10. Okay. What are what are your our feelings on Jimmy Flintstone products?
Jimmy Flintstone products are very affordable. Okay. I wouldn't call them top-notch hobby stuff, but for the price, man, you can't beat some of the stuff Jimmy's got out there is really kind of cool. So, yeah,
he sells out of everything that I want. Whenever I go up to his bed, like there's a Godzilla bust that he has, and it was sold out.
He does have a website,
Yeah,
but
I know, but it was sold out still.
You can't beat Jimmy's prices, for stuff compared to what a lot of garage kits are. And one of the things I like about going to the Flintstone table is going through his little bins of 3 for 5 or 3 for 10 or whatever. I've gotten so many little like Mutleys and goofy looking characters.
He fills that special need at Wonderfest, I think, of I got $20 left. What do I go buy? And you could always find something there and spend that $20. Are they the best kits in the world? No. But I think they're still good enough to be like, there's a special spot in this hobby for Jimmy Flintstone.
Oh, absolutely.
And there's always been has there been controversy? Yeah. Am I wrong?
There has been some, nothing per se proven.
Right.
Totally. But, yeah, that being said, Jimmy's always been all right to me. And I have a few of his kits. I have a Quisp kit he did years ago. And I've come close to a couple busts and stuff that he's got, like you say, that Godzilla bust and stuff like that. So, he's got some stuff that, like you say, it's really affordable. And
the shifter knobs, it's so fun to go through those bins.
It is, and it's what you can call it too. A lot of that stuff is entry level stuff, and that means so if you're a dork like me and you don't want to paint something because you're so intimidated, that's when you buy that $30 bust and paint it and practice on it and learn on it.
For sure,
and the same thing with all those shifter knobs and all that. So, and again, you can't beat Jimmy's prices. So, yeah, it's a good place. I mean, you could go to Jimmy's table, man. If you spend $100 at Jimmy's table, you're gonna walk.
You got a lot of stuff.
Full of shit. Yeah,
it's like Taco Bell.
Yep,
that's a very good. Jimmy Flintstone is the Taco Bell of the garage kit land.
Sure.
Yeah, that works. At times, I feel this hobby is in a holding pattern. I kind of agree. But I think we're getting to the end of that holding pattern. I do not disagree with you.
I do a little.
Go ahead.
So I think we're moving into new things, like we discussed Mike Calvert's presentation, and that's a new type of presentation. Busts with more elaborate bases, not just in a peg into a square stand or a round stand or something. So getting a little more creative. Now, of course, you have the 3D printing,
And that's what I was saying. I think we're getting
where's,
out of that.
Where's all that going?
Yeah.
So it's where the holding pattern still is, and to hear me say this again is going to be, man, Universal Monsters. It's like we're still in that holding pattern. Can't blame guys though if they're still selling. Why not? I still buy them. I'm even mentioned an idea for one this episode. So it's still there. But yeah, there's so many other things, again, that would be different. George's bus that we discussed. And I'll tell you what else would be cool. Wildlife. I've got a Sean Nagel lion up in my model room that's just awesome. And I would buy wildlife. I would buy a good, elephants or something like that I could paint.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it sounds dumb, but here's the thing too. That's something if you gotten painted, you might get away with displaying in your house without your wife knocking it out, leg lamping it off the shelf.
If I got leg lamped at my house,
look, your house is a freak show. Okay, ready before she even moved in. Okay,
that's true. It's gotten man.
You have your room.
No, but now there's little people everywhere. And Fisher Price toys.
Hey, they were outside in the snow today.
Oh, God. Scott, are you from Boston?
I'm not from Boston, but I am a Patriots fan. And also a Tom Brady fan. But yeah, I like the Patriots. No, I'm not from Boston. I've never been to Boston. My favorite series of books, though, are based in Boston, which are the Robert B. Parker Spencer books, which is, remember the TV show Spencer for Hire was based on these books.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, and I've read all of them. I think I'm 3 behind. Robert Parker died and another author's taken over, but I think I'm like 3 behind, but there's like 48 books or something, and I've read them all. So
wow.
So yeah.
Wow, I'm impressed.
Yeah, I've read more books than I've built models.
Yeah, that's pretty good. What are your feelings on testers pulling their paints off the shelf? I feel they screwed themselves and all their loyal customers. Rust-Oleum owns them for some reason, and they had no idea how to manage testers. I hope stock sinks. So I found this out back when I was doing my model club thing at school, when I was trying to get a hold of companies to get some stuff donated. Krylon or Rust-Oleum Krylon is a company together, and they bought testers, and some of that stuff is disappearing apparently off of shelves. I don't know why. I don't understand it. I would love to have somebody on that could explain everything that's going on behind the scenes with that. But honestly, when's the last time, other than Dull Coat, what have you bought from testers? I buy the testers sanding film and testers Dull Coat.
And that's only because you're too lazy to go buy a bunch of different sandpapers and cut them up.
No, that is not true. Tester sanding film works better on plastic than sandpaper. Like it's made specifically for that. It doesn't tear stuff up a lot easier. I love the sanding film. I love that stuff. I'd be mad if that goes away. Uh-oh. I better start going buy all that stuff. But yeah, I don't know. I wish I could answer this question better. I don't know why the other thing, the regular Krylon matte finish is what I've been using now anyway. Other than testers Dull Coat, it's not as good, not as flat, but yeah, there's a weird the hobby paint thing just kind of.
Well, again, I think we have to realize that in the grand scheme of Krylon Rust-Oleum, okay, the model aspect of that is so small.
Yes.
Okay, that they don't care.
They
They
don't.
probably don't care. Okay.
And I think there's enough other model paint companies that have come along that could all get replaced. No problem.
Yeah. And other than metallics, I haven't heard a lot of people really just bragging about Testors paints.
No.
Okay. They do like the metallics, but one of my favorite things that they had out was acrylic enamels. And I'm like, okay, so what is it? Is it an acrylic or is it an enamel?
Mhm.
It's two different things.
Right.
But as with anything, I hate to see anything go. Okay. I hate to see anything get sold to somebody that's not going to do anything with it. I was glad to see Atlantis get a lot of the molds that they've gotten. Because really Revell Monogram went under.
Yeah.
And so, all these things, understand a lot of us are close to 60 years old, with the exception of you. But a lot of us are in our mid 50s to mid 60s. And the companies that were there when we were kids, eventually go by the wayside. And as far as paints go, you have so many different options out there now.
Yeah. One specifically, when I went into a hobby town recently, the Testors area is bare, but Mission Models, which is an American paint company, they had their thing fully stocked in there. So it's some of those things are changing. There's different tool companies now too, because Tester did make some, low-key hobby knives and like I said, the sanding film, but there's other companies that will come up and change and take that spot, I think.
Speaking of tools, I want to say, and I've been dealing with these most of my life because my brother was a graphic artist. It's so nice that X-Acto finally gave you this little plastic protector to put over the knife blade so that when it rolls off the desk, you don't have to worry about sticking in your foot.
I had that happen.
And you have to worry about picking it up or having it stuck in a nook somewhere and you go to pick it up and jam it in. So I thought that was cool.
Covers.
But there's a lot of paints out there. There's a lot of brands. Obviously, I don't do enough, but I've seen people, they use Jesse's paints, they use Michigan Toy Soldier, whatever that whole line of stuff
Vallejo.
is.
Vallejo. That's, I think most people right now, Vallejo is where it's at. Reaper even has good paints.
Reaper, who does the miniature paints?
These other ones I'm using, these Pro Acryls. They're fantastic.
And that's the thing too. A lot of people just use craft paint.
Yeah.
Okay.
Craft paint though, people use it and I use it for certain things, but the pigment in there is just no good. It doesn't look the same. You can totally tell.
I have a closet of tube paint that's still good. It lasts forever. And you thin it down, and if you buy the good tube paint, it does have good pigment.
Army Painter even makes good paint.
Yeah, the Liquitex that Dave used to use. But don't buy the basics because the pigment in the basics are not as good as
you need these.
The other. So, which leads me to a quick question too. I was talking to Thad, and he mentioned using Flotrol.
Yeah,
Flotrol.
I use it all the time.
Do you? Okay, so explain that a little to me.
So Flotrol. Hold, please. If you read my AFM articles, you would know how to use it.
I'm too busy building models to read your articles.
So this is
that's
Flotrol.
An old bottle because you should see what it looks like now. So that bottle,
I keep refilling this with because you can buy it in the big bottle. I keep refilling this one smaller bottle. It's basically a latex paint additive. It's just an extender basically, and makes your paint a little more transparent. So I use it specifically for sponge painting. I'll mix it with stuff so I can build up layers and layers of really thin kind of translucent paint using sponges. And I use it to sponge stuff. And that's what it's used in house painting for rag rolling and making faux finishes and that sort of thing.
Well, I've also heard it's used, and this is, I guess, my question, and I probably should have questioned Thad more on this too. For brush strokes, it'll take brush strokes out. So if you're painting woodwork in a house with a paintbrush and you use that, it helps it smooth itself out.
Yeah, it thins down the paint. So it's basically like adding water to paint without ruining the paint.
Okay.
So it just kind of that's totally what it does.
All right.
No, Flotrol is great. It's great for mixing with acrylic paint.
Okay. All right. More questions?
Yes. Bidding fever. What are your thoughts on eBay and people going bid crazy on certain model kits? I really haven't been bidding on model kits in a long time on eBay. When's the last time you bought a model on eBay?
Oh, that hunchback, that glow hunchback I bought on eBay.
Did you bid on it? Like, was it a bidding thing or did you buy it now?
I think it was a buy it now.
Yeah, see, I don't use eBay as anything more than a store at this point.
Not too many people don't have a buy it now. Now, sometimes the buy it now is crazy.
Yeah.
And not on model kits, but you'll be surprised when they have the best offer thing. Man, I've offered like half of what they want and have been accepted, or now some people won't. Some people just say decline.
Yeah.
Okay. Or some people will come back to you with something. And then you can go back to them with something, and it's a good way to kind of barter.
Yeah.
With the best offer thing. But as far as model kits, bidding wars.
I have noticed though recently there were a couple people talking about some Janus stuff that was really high expensive, right?
Yes, and I see that go both ways. So I've seen some of the Janus stuff go crazy, and then I've seen it kind of come down, and I've seen it go back crazy.
I saw some future stuff that I have.
Yeah. My opinion is it's only worth what you're willing to pay for it.
Yeah.
So if there's a couple guys out there willing to bid the price up because they really want the kit, eventually those guys are going to be out of the bidding war. And I'd like to think the price will come down unless it's just such a rare item that,
Can you think of one recently that went nuts?
I've seen some of John Tucky's stuff go, kind of higher than I thought it would. And then some of it doesn't.
Yeah.
So, so I don't know. Now this Snoopy, this plane that came out. So I have an original sealed one. And the intention was when I bought it to build it, it cost $70 at the time. Okay. Well, now these are the same mold, give me the same kit. I want to build it. I don't need that sealed one anymore. Has it killed the value? Yeah, I'd say this one might have knocked the value down a little bit, but I still see the sealed ones going for about $250, $275. So I'm going to probably get that on the eBay in the next, but you have crossover collectors too there. That's not just model guys. That's, so if you have a crossover thing, that's going to be even crazier.
Didn't eBay change something with PayPal recently too?
Well, they're trying to get you to not use PayPal, even though they own PayPal, and do something else. I don't know.
All right.
That's another thing with eBay. By the time they hit you for their 10% on your shipping too. So it's not bad enough that the post office is reaming you, but they're going to hit you for 10% of that shipping as well.
I stopped selling things on eBay because I always ended up with somebody who, after I'd packed it up, they would be like, well, can you do this? Or can you do this? Can you take $5 off? And I just got tired of like dealing with it. Mm-hmm. So if I sell something, I try and do it on Facebook or on the Clubhouse, I think, more than anything.
That's the way to go first, obviously. But if you're going to sit there and say, well, I want top dollar, what will you offer me for it? And hope you get people bidding against each other on Facebook. Yeah, that's kind of tough to keep track of too. So it's know your product, know what you're selling, know what you're buying.
Yeah.
And does it get crazy? Yeah, it's going to get crazy. Sometimes it's going to get crazy. Okay. These stupid little figures I got, those Universal Monster, those Funko mystery minis. Man, there's some of those going for $100.
Sell them. What are you doing?
Because they make them collectibles. There's like one out of every 72 has that one figure in.
Oh yeah.
Okay. I've got a little Foghorn Leghorn up here. I think it's it's like a $30 figure. This big vinyl figure. It's come on. Okay. We're just going to make collectibles. So it's anything is worth what someone will pay for it. And you can look at it and go, that's crazy. Well, what's crazy to you? That guy wants it that bad. He's going to pay for it. So that's my take on that.
I agree. So that does for emails. Did we have corrections from last episode?
No corrections. I think I did finally get my Christmas present mounted in a different frame.
Nice. Oh, that does look good.
With the Aurora thing. You can't really see it because I'm in the dark tonight.
Yeah.
But it's there. My stepdaughter's boyfriend, Elliot, really liked it. He got some press, and I was telling him about the comments on the clubhouse. So I did get one comment, and I don't think we've done it a lot in this episode. Todd Powell from Escape Hatch mentioned to me, when we talk about people like, we'll say Trevor and we'll say this guy and this guy, and we don't say the last names.
Yeah.
And we just assume everybody knows everybody. And first of all, I couldn't pronounce Trevor's last name on a bet. Okay. But
I'm going to go with how wrong I am. Ready?
Yeah.
You'll sorry.
Maybe it is you'll sorry. Trevor, let us know. Or give us the phonic pronunciation. But, like when I talked, even tonight, I talked about the Black Cat, and I said, Paul's casting him. Well, that's Paul Gill's casting, So I'll try to do a little better with that. That's, that was a good point by Todd. And, I anytime someone offers something like that, they're kind of like, I don't want to insult you guys. And it's like, no, that's okay. That's
it is
why we're here.
And again, I think episode 20 is my goal to change the format, but we'll see. We're having a hard time with guests little bit. It's been a rough patch. I know, and there's other people who are like begging to come on, but we had told other people that we wanted them on, and they said they'd come on, and then things fall through the cracks. So we're working on it. We will have somebody here shortly. So yeah, you're stuck with us again, and we apologize. That's our episode this week. First episode of February. Thanks for joining us. It's been it's snowing. We're tired. Scott has to have surgery. It's been a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Hang in there, everybody.
It'll get better, right?
Yeah.
It'll get better.
Well, we'll be back with another one here shortly. Episode 17, we will have a guest. We're not announcing who that is, because that might change. What's going on?
Hey, maybe we'll get to the point where we can announce a guest, and we'll actually
have them. Yeah, we're not saying it anymore.
Yeah.
Anyway, have a great time, everybody. We'll see you next time on Model Club TV. Bye.